Hey everyone, welcome back to the Jankyard. I'm your host, The Treatment, and I just finished doing a collection replay of myself versus H Master, and I'm about to do another one. I am just in the giving spirit post holidays, so let's do this. We're gonna this time see lower bracket hype as I lost my match against H Master, and this is going to be me versus Redentor. This one is a lot more favorable in terms of displaying the ability of the Leo deck that I chose to play, a mill deck. So we're going to pop over. I'm just going to make sure that the game is set up. And let's get that on screen here. So in this case, we have Redentor playing his Lulu list, which I believe was actually a list inspired or taken from Shadowfire, as it's called, Shadowfire and Flame. And it is a go fast, fighting spirit, cinder spirit, ember root lizard, wishing wing, punchy deck. Cinder spirit with Aerodel bolster spark is so good. Like, yes, you can't do the drop and swing type of thing, but the spark gives it +1, the token gives it effectively +1, and the ping, so it becomes for 3 dice a 4/3 attack plus a ping. Very, just very good. So that is a big concern of mine in this matchup. And I think in this matchup, knowing that the Ember Root Lizard as well, so when you play that, like the book, you're also able to token up the Ember Root Lizard. And the Ember Root Lizard has a ping on the swing, not just the bolster. It's a little bit scary. So this round, I do a little bit of learning from my previous matchup, and I believe I start with a root armored. Oop! Wow, that was, how the heck did that happen? Step forward. What? Oh no! Oh right. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna have to explain a lot of this match. I was a little confused by what's going on. As you may see, well, you won't see actually unless I move my face. There are an absolute ton of errors on, or not errors, manual things. What happened was we got through, I want to say, all of round 1 and 2, and we were in round 3, I think. And then the server crashed. And so the server crashed, and thankfully Redentor was like, well, like, how about we redo it? We'll instead of replaying the match, I remember mostly what I saw in the bin. I know sort of was on my side of the board. I said the same thing. I didn't screenshot anything, unfortunately, but I did remember where I was game state wise, because there were a couple plays that I was like, yes, that puts me ahead. And so we rebuilt the entire game state, which was a bit painful, but it happened. We did it. And yeah, so I don't remember if it was, I think it was round 2, maybe. That is as far as we got. But there was some hype plays. Unfortunately, I don't remember all of them. So I am going to attempt to recount exactly what happened. In this case, I started, as I said, with a root armored beast tamer and an old salt and transfusion. So that's stayed the same. I also stuck with an Adaptodon. Redentor played his 4-book spread and a Phoenix Barrage in round 1. So the Phoenix Barrage couldn't kill the Beast Tamer, and it did, I think, I don't have any in the discard pile. Do I still clean up some of the cards? Oh, right. There it is. Didn't clean up all that much. It cleaned up an Adaptodon and I think either the Finch or the Ritualist. Put 2 damage on me. But it was a round 1 that was massively in my favor. I was worried that he was going to have a Spearmaster, but even if he did a Spearmaster, then I was still good with the Root Armor Tamer. And then things started going from bad to worse for Redentor. So he got several good cards milled. He got, I think, 2 Fate Reflections milled right off the top. He got one of his Wishing Wing books milled, and right away that put me a lot more at ease because of the lack of focus too. The old salts were able to, and the Beast Tamer was basically able to deal with the Cinder Spirits and Ember Root Lizard, and then I started pulling out my Rose Gardeners in this round, and that was something that I slotted as a tech piece, knowing that everyone was going to be on the new time cards, and those things were incredible. When you're playing against a almost, let's say, purely status token deck, especially with Cinder Spirits, where the whole crux of the book is being able to main action and then hopefully summon something, and same thing with the Amber Root Lizard, it was incredible to keep those down. I don't remember if I used it more than once or twice. Again, I don't think I used it more than once or twice for the Fighting Spirit, because I think there was one point where I was just like, okay, I'm going to recur these Rose Gardeners. They're just too good. But as you can see from the board state that we reestablished, his discard pile is already pretty heavy for the round we're in. I had an Ice Trap, which also takes care of his units fairly well. And even though I'm only on 1 book, which typically makes me very nervous, I drew into a bunch of allies, which would enable me to keep this Chant of Transfusion fueled a little bit, and then I could just sort of play defense. And there was nothing in his list, as long as I never swung with the Beast Tamer, there was nothing in this list that could take care of it. I think he does have 3, actually, 2 shadows. I thought he had only 1 or 2. But yeah, basically nothing can tank this. So that's really awesome. So I'm feeling very good, which is why when the game crashed at this stage, I was devastated. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get the same luck of seeing his Fate Reflections go. The Phoenix Barrage, I only now have to worry about the what is it, stamina? No, does he even have stamina? He just has the 1 Phoenix Barrage, which I think is a bit of a mistake. But I was like, yeah, this is not the game I want to lose. So very good game state, even though I have 2 damage on me and Lulu has nothing. So we're going to resume from here. So in this case, I just now have Rose Gardeners where I'm like, okay, well, I could just swing these for free, effectively. I can either pull guard or they stick around, no big deal. I'm not too worried about even if they get 2 shadowed, because in my mind I'm still ahead. And one potential issue is that I can get clogged because there's not a lot of self-clear in the deck. But he's got to do something, otherwise I just permanently have a bigger dice advantage, and that dice advantage with the likes of Farewell can turn out pretty nasty. So he does the Cinder main action spirit thing, and I can put down Donnie and kill off that lone hatchling, and now I just sort of sit pretty for this round. I am 5 dice to his 4. He's going to summon the Wishing Wing, which can't really do anything. And he summons the Cinder Spirit as well. I'm not too worried about giving him cards, so I just I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna farewell the Cinder Spirit, which is more of an aggressive threat, and you can get your 1 token on the Fighting Spirit and your 2 cards. Your Focus 2 book is down. I'm pretty good on the rest of it. I started doing a lot more card counting and looking at the list for this game to make sure what his outs were and what my outs were. So yeah, farewells played, and then he was thinking for a bit. What does he do? He used. Oh, right. He sparked and killed the gardener, which I don't know. Like, yeah, it kills a threat, and at this point, I've used the chant, but I just don't think that really gets you any further. It gets the token on the wing so that he can threaten things a little bit more. But now he's out of dice, and I know I don't have to worry about Fate Reflection or anything else. So I attach the Gifted Rose, and then I swing the Beast Tamer because I'm not worried about 2 shadows. And it basically does no damage to me. It does 1, but I'm going to recover it. And so this was like 3 cards for him and a token, but he can't summon anything. And now I'm in a pretty good spot. He does. I always forget this with Rose, where I think it's a little disappointing that it's spend a basic or discard a card. It's not like Mind Maze where you have to do both, and that definitely makes this card, I think, sort of tough to play. It's really only used for sometimes the 1 turn mark. Effectively, it's like a Herald mark, but it is what it is. He discards from hand. At the end of the day, it's 1 less option. So fine by me. I'm ahead, and now I can swing for 2 damage, and I had a 3rd Rose Gardener, which pulls from the Fighting Spirit, and just a free damage. So this is no good, and now I have top of round. Unfortunately, I don't have lethal. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and that would put me in a bad position to swing out, but I do hit him with a couple, I think. First use what's it called? Cultivate? No, that's Cultivate Prune is the token thing. Cultivate is the meditation. And just get a free poke in there. Raptor Herder comes down. I think now I play another Adaptodon and just keep on top of these units. He's got no way of recurring the units, and I'm starting to look at what his list is, and it's like, okay, he's got String Mage, which isn't really a threat to me. The Time Stopper is potentially a concern because that's where he could like do a big counterpunch. And now the Raptor Herders are gone, so that's huge in my book. All I have to worry about is a Spearmaster and 2 Anchornauts, but the 2 Anchornauts don't do anything. So once I know that his options are pretty much limited, then I'm sitting pretty. So now, Fred jumped in to see what was going on. It's a lot more Cinder Spirit sort of plays, and unfortunately, I just kept having the answers. The Farewells 2 for 2 is great value for me, being so far ahead on board and trading with the Cinder Spirit, which he didn't even swing. So it's just like, okay, yep, good. That's 2 more cards. You're down to 4 in your draw and 4 in hand. At this point, I don't think there's anything he can do. I have a ton of options and a ton of units on board. And so he just keeps doing the Cinder Spirit thing, and now I can pass. I effectively think that at this point, I can win round 3, even just on damage, as long as I keep all his stuff down. But I still do have to respect the Fighting Spirit play, and... Oh, he doesn't. Shadows list has Accelerate. This list does not have Accelerate, so I'm not even worried about like a crazy bop 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 type of thing. Wishing Wing, Cinder Spirit again, and now I can add a little bit more burn and another unit to the fray. He's going to swing at my Old Salt and kill off a Rose Gardener, which I just trade with. Like, this is cool to me. Like so you see that, right? It's got 4 attack. I'm like, all right, this old salt's been around for 2 rounds now, 3 rounds. Don't look at the round counter because, as I said, I don't remember what round it was. I think it was round 2 or 3 that we had to redo the whole thing. So yeah, pretty good trade. Clears my battlefield for me, and Adaptodon now can kill off the Wishing Wing. Another token for Fighting Spirit. So in theory, he can hit for half my life off of like a Wishing Wing or Ember Root if I did not have defenders. And the whole thing that is a potential for that is Time Stopper, but as I said, it's in the bin. So Ember Root comes down, meditates up 2 more from their hand. So now I'm like, okay, well, basically after this round, he's out of draw deck. Pretty good for me. I can swing. He's going to take 2 more. He wants to keep that Ember Root alive. And then I just Frog Ping off the Herder so that there's 1 less unit. And he's going to go for the big swing at the... Oh, no. So, this is what I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to swing for 5 at the Beast Tamer. Now, obviously, that doesn't kill the Beast Tamer. It's reduced by 2, so it would only deal 3 damage out of 4, and I recover 1. But I would have guarded it, and so I think here he's just like, oh, well, I'm just going to trade bodies for bodies. Probably correct. I wonder if he had gotten this Ember Root just a little bit bigger, or like a Wishing Wing bigger. That might have tempted... Like, I don't know. If it was like 7 or 8 attack, I think in this case, I know that Root Tamer is the crux of this whole game of keeping me alive and basically making it impossible for him to get by. I still would have probably guarded for like 8 damage. But if he had maybe multiple Phoenix Barrages, I'd have to worry about the burn damage as well. But in this case, fine by me. Swings, destroys it. No big deal there. I can put a Finch for free. Now the Time Stopper comes down, which is like, okay. Like, I think that was probably the wrong timing of it. And if he knew that he could do this and swing, maybe that was, I don't know. Maybe that was not the best play there, or the right timing of it. But honestly, he's just out of options. So... it is what it is. Old Salt and Transfusion now kills this off, I think. Yeah. And now this is... well, again, it's not quite lethal. I only have 4 here, and I don't have top around. If I did have top around, that's lethal. But put him down to 6. Pass out the round. He puts an Anchor Knot down. If I had a Frog Ping, that's game. Because all the Fate Reflections are in the bin, so there's nothing you can do there. But I still have to play this out a little bit slowly. Another Old Salt comes down. Time Stopper comes down. That's the last one to stop any shenanigans. But again, not the best timing of the Time Stopper. I think it really, at this point, it's just a body to stop me swinging out. So it is what it is, but I play Clashing Tempers to exhaust the Time Stopper, and now I have lethal. Which is surprising, because I win on swing damage, but the deck did what it was supposed to do, which was also eliminate your draw pile. So either way, I had the ability to just sort of pass out, which would be boring, and I could just sit there. And I know that I win on fatigue damage at this point. But really, it's about choking him out of options and then having some punch. So this game, I was so much happier with starting the Root Armor Beast Tamer, which I think is one of the deadliest sort of unit alteration combos you can have, unless your opponent has Fester, really. Is there anything else? I guess Fester, or if they want to spend Farewell. But otherwise, like, two shadows only ever deals with it if they swing with it, or if you have another way of exhausting it. So like Astria or Echo can easily do those things. But against most matches, especially in this new time meta where everyone is playing Cinder Spirit, I recommend wholeheartedly Root Armor and anything, and Rune Arbor and Beast Tamer is even better juice. So yeah, this was just a great game for me, and I was hoping that I could claw back in. The next match I'm not covering tonight. It is a match against another Aerodel list, in this case Shadowfire's Aerodel list. It's very evenly matched. It goes for 2 hours, so I'm definitely going to skip through some of that. But I'm done talking with the two matches. I got to get some laundry done and then some dinner. And yeah, hopefully, I think I've covered all the games now but that one. So we're basically like caught up, and we're almost ready for the semis when Carl gets back from vacation, and then the finals with Fritz, our undefeated man of the hour, who only has to win one and his opponent has to win two. Very exciting to see him in the finals. Those I'm hoping I can live cast, but if I can't, I hope I see more of you guys in the replay when I'm done. So anyway, that was a fun one. This was good for me. Showcased what the deck can do, and I like me some Leo. He's in a tough, well, not he in particular. Milla's in a tough spot, but I wanted to see if maybe I could make a Mill deck work for the collection. That's it for now. Have yourselves a good one, and I will catch you on the next stream. If you're not janky, you're stanky. Frog up, wolf down, and hoot and toot and be positive. Ciao.